Hi, my name is Gabriela Antequera. My partner is Angie Castañeda. We are going to present our assignment, our third assignment for the subject of language and cultural awareness. The selection of the unit that we chose was for teaching an A2 class of English as a foreign language is this one, living abroad. So this unit focuses on vocabulary related to everyday activities in an external place, more specifically different type of cultural places. So it presents simple tense and adverbs of frequency, as well as many other activities. The book that we've chose is this one, The Business Pre-Intermediate Students Book by Karen Richardson, Mary Kavanagh, and John Sides with Paul Emerson, which is this one over here at the end. So the unit or the lesson that we chose was this one, the number one, living abroad. And first of all, it provides us with present simple, something very easy to understand. We mostly chose this because it gives us 3 points, or at least 3 ways to learn it very in a very easy way, which is the grammar itself first, and then the listening for detail. On the analysis that of the unit first, we chose this first. We tend to see what is best for our student. So the first thing that they will see is how they can test themselves on what they know about present simple. There are a few exercises to fill out the gaps, what best works for each of the paragraphs that are shown here. So in this case, this is to describe some people's job, and the way is to find the correct job for each test. The following exercise on this lesson is to use prepositions of time. So one of the things that we check or analyze when analyzing of the unit under the Arnold's principles, mainly we learned that it was all about authentic resources, and the criteria will be accessibility. This unit is very accessible, it's very comprehensible for the learners to the A2 level, and the content on the language is very appropriate within the learner's grasp. The second thing to take into account is the authenticity. This unit should be authentic with materials or tasks that resemble real life language, especially when it comes to real life language, are the prepositions on time that they are using here. For example, on weekdays, dates, special days, on the weekend, at festivals, at times. So these type of words are very real life language that they usually use on their daily routines, especially living abroad. And it provides context for language learning and meaningful context. The task variety as well, it has a lot of different tasks. For example, the first one that we already explained was this test, which was to fill out gaps on those paragraphs. Another thing that we have was under tag that it has is the listening part, when the student has to listen to some descriptions of national festivals and write the dates. And here we have some of different range of cultural things that they will see. And something that can also be used is the motivation, which is also another principle of Arnold's, which is motivating the student, the learners, with interest, promoting active participation. One of the things that we also proposed for this task specifically was to have them, you know, pick any type of culture they like and to listen to the descriptions and, you know, write and engage with the culture that they choose. So that's something that also stood out for us. And the one of the other tasks that was on this lesson is the questions form. In this case, we have to create, they have to create a question using the present simple. And in this case, we are trying to focus on the language as itself. In this case, the unit should have clear language. It should focus with the target vocabulary, which is something that has been consistent throughout all the lesson. Also using the grammar, which is important in this point because we have to take care. We're going to be seeing how the student organizes the question grammatically, right? The skills that are present and how relevant it's for each of them. And finally, the discussion, which is a collaborative task that with a partner, they have to describe a local festival costume or something that is in their hometown, accustomed on the place where they are student. So this also motivates the students to have an active participation. And this should also be something to motivate the students to know other cultures, especially to think about special food, clothes, typical activities. So it's something that's fun and that the students will learn a lot from it. So now my partner Angie is going to talk about how we adapted.
Well, like my partner says, this activity is very important, but as the author mentioned, not all activities are adapted to the needs of the students. And in that order of ideas, it is important to consider the context that the environment that the students have. In this sense, we propose these activities that to change the activities that propose the book that we analyze. Uh, if we talk about the rural high school in A2 level, we consider important that the unit include more activities or visual activities or visual aids. It's important that the activities include the activities that real life or activities that the students make all time. For example, activities in the town or agricultural activities or typical tasks in rural areas. Um, eh, in this sense, we, as a teachers, we need to connect the units to the environment and the activities that the students make in their routines, because in this form we um, we can have the attention all the time of the students. um, we propose the task basis in the language teaching, make emphasis in the use of the authentic task, but that the task have like a central element the language learning and encourage the learners to engage a meaningful communication. Um, in second context, if we talk about the urban high school, we consider that it's important adapting the unit for activities that are common in the life of the students and in that life um, in a urban space. For this activity, we consider that we can include visual and real life activities or pictures about daily routines and the vocabulary improve for the students with the help of the teacher. Um, to be the lesson more interesting for the students, it will be important use visual presentation about daily routines in space that the students consider very interesting. For this will be important. It will be important include cultural aspects related of urban lifestyles like common daily routines in the city or activities that we common that is common that the students make like go to the cinema, go to the shopping mall, or take a bus because are activities that the students make all day, and this permit that they contextualize the activity. Well, in the last part, we have a scenario in which we work with the university student. We consider that this scenario is more difficult because the students that high level require more attention in the grammatical aspects or improve the communicative skills. And in this sense, we include or we propose that include the activities with tasks that simulate the academic routines that the students have every day in his in their daily context, like university activities or task in the campus, university life, or other activities that help there to improve um, the speaking and reading and uh, listening skills because they require mm, more attention to these aspects. Finally, it's important say that the activities that we propose mm, need are adapts of about the mm, real context that the students that we have work with because we need that the students learning effectively the contents and not only for a moment but for all le life that the learning have with there, and the selection of appropriate task for each level is very important. Mm, and it's important to be clear the objectives that we um, have to obtain with the activities that we propose.
So another additional sources and theories that we take into account or considered that you can incorporate The TBLT, which are the task-based language teaching, which approaches and emphasizes the use of authentic tasks as a central element of language learning and encourages learners to engage in meaningful communication. So these authentic tasks could be the ones that we explained before. The other one is the CLIL, which is content and language integrated learning, which integrates language learning with subject matter content and allows the learners to develop language skills whilst also exploring topics related to their academic or personal interests, especially when you're exploring different cultures, you're exploring different topics. Sometimes they can relate to their personal interests and their academic lichens. The Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, which is the CEFR, is this framework that provides guidance on how language proficiency levels and can help inform the selection of appropriate tasks and language objectives for the A2 level, which is something that teachers must take into account when making appropriate tasks for each of the objectives for each of the levels, or that they have to take into account, especially if they have rural high school or urban or at the university. So by integrating these additional theories and services, you can enhance the authenticity, the relevance and effectiveness of the unit for the learners in different settings. I hope you understood, and in this case, this is how we analyzed our unit. Thank you so much.